Oops.
Sorry, Kelly.
Food! No! Lunchtime!
Alright. Alright. So keep going, right?
We
so
have-
you are on the susha and you have the fontanelles, right?
So wait, this one is the Bregma?
Brahma.
Okay, and then this one is the...
Lambda. Because remember Lambdoidal susha?
Uh-huh.
Lambda.
So here's the... Okay.
Lambda.
Okay. I know.
Do your shit and get out.
So, fontanelles are kind
It's-
of like where the rivers meet.
Where's on the susha meat? Because when the baby small, they don't have bones. So they are cartilage and they actually have a hole here and hole here. And all the bone not connect to each other. They're not, what they call, they're not connect. So they actually a big hole section like this. So when the dog you grow up, you have susha to connect on the bone together. So with the baby, they don't have this.
Yeah, they haven't
They
fused
don't have
yet.
all this, all the college. That's why
Yeah,
it's
so
very
you don't
soft.
touch them on the head. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why. That's what they call
You should be touching brain.
Right now you go to, let's see, if you go ECMO, right? You can pick ECMO first.
Did you do any of these?
You
Or
wanna
those
do
all-
that?
Yeah.
Okay. Frontal bone,
Yep.
parietal,
Periodals.
inferior nasal concave, nasal, so inferior. Because you know when you look at the ethmoid bone, you have superior and middle inside, but you don't have the inferior. Inferior actually is another separate bone right here. This is inferior nasal concave.
This is inferior.
Yeah.
Check it out.
It's this one and this one.
Inferior nasal concave. Both of these, right?
Because superior and middle is located inside the ethmoid, but the inferior is actually separate.
Okay.
So point again the...
Superior,
Uh-huh.
middle inside,
Okay.
inferior. The whole thing right here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then you have occipital bone in the back, you know.
Yes.
Temporal bone on the side.
Yes.
The ear area. Nasal right here. Sphenoid right inside this one. Lacrimal bone is extremely small right around this area. Very small right here.
Lacrimal. Is there an indent there?
Can hardly tell. Usually it's about very small right here because this
So
is
like your tear duct.
because this is the ethmoid right here.
Okay.
This is the ethmoid. This is a frontal and nasal. So the ethmoid going to like between the ethmoid and the frontal is right here.
This is
Lacrimal.
considered the sphenoid too as well, right?
Sphenoid is inside here.
Okay.
See the suture? See
Okay.
the suture is connect because outside this front bone. This is a different bone.
Okay.
Because the eye, the orbit, make up by many bones. Right, so you have nasal, you have sphenoid, you have lacrimal, now maxillary. So maxillary to maxillary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Zygoma, this zygoma, all that you can call malar bones. Zygomatic arch. When you say the arch, this whole thing is an arch, but it's made up from this bone and this bone.
So this is like part of it, right?
It's a part
Yeah.
of
Right.
zygoma and a part
Right here.
of the temporal. Yeah.
Right, because this is the...
The arch is the whole thing.
Yep.
Okay.
This is the zygomatic process of the temporal bone.
Right.
And then that's the zygomatic arch of the
Zygoma.
zygoma bone.
Yeah.
So it's the whole thing?
So the arch is the whole
Both
thing.
bones
like
together.
a bridge thing. And then you have mandible, you know the mandible. Ethmoid inside, palatine bone is actually inside palatine right here.
The roof of your mouth, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
You always think of palate,
Up,
you know,
yeah.
and palate,
Right
palatine.
here.
Do you want
Alright.
to... You can stay here.
Okay.
Now we go to ethmoid bone, right? So this is ethmoid, this is how it's going to sit inside. So, of course, you have the Chris Galley. And then we have the perpendicular plate right here, right in the middle.
That's what's in the nose, right?
And then we have the lateral mass or labyrinth. The whole thing on the side is lateral mass. So
Right.
you have right mass, left mass. And then you have the ethmoid sinus, or they call air cell. Those whole is those all of them they are air cell. So they are ethmoid sinus on the side. See it? On the side. They cover all over around. And then you have cribriform plate, which is this plate and this plate on the side of the crissagalli. Then orbital plate. So right, it sits right inside your skull right here. So the eyeball's going to be right here, right? So actually, when you look at this, you see it? Oh, right here. See? The surface. And this surface right here. So that's the eyeball sit on it.
That's
okay.
the lateral masses where the eyeball is.
Right.
Okay.
So when they're talking about the ethmoid sinuses,
They're talking about
the
this
top.
The big holes.
Okay.
thing. No, not the top. All around. Because
Okay.
the sinus is all over. See it? You can see sinus inside here. Sinus here. It's all over. It's on the side of the mass.
That's going to be the first thing you see if you're looking at it anteriorly. So you've got frontal sinuses here, and then below that is where you're seeing the ethmoid sinuses. Behind it is the sphenoid sinus, and then down here is your maxillary sinus. Okay.
So with the frontal, you can see the big hole black because it's a big, or the sphenoid sinus, or the maxillary, you can see the big hole of air.
Yeah.
But with the ethmoid, you won't see the big hole of air. You won't see because it's all air cells. Okay. And of course, superior and middle nasocondylar, like say superior and middle. See, so this is the plate in the middle, right? So on the side going to be inferior, superior, and middle. Middle kind of like a little bit posterior. So superior, middle. That's why the superior is a little bit high. The middle is actually go inside. Right. And try to remember this bone right here is a real bone of a baby. This is the adult skull.
Sure.
So it's going to be different. Now we're going to maxillary bone. So this is maxillary. Look at the teeth, then we can tell. Okay, teeth and nose. That's how we're going to see it. That's how you can tell. Okay, so you can have a lot of process.
Alveolar process.
Alveolar. When you see alveolar, you know around the teeth area. So these are the process, alveolar process.
Like the gums.
Gum right here, so the process similar. So then you have zygomatic process. So this is the zygomatic process.
Yep.
So only one side. Then frontal process. The frontal process. Probably this one, yeah. Frontal process.
Is it all the way down? That whole thing? This whole thing right here?
Well, usually when they say process, it's something pointed
Pointy?
out.
Okay,
yeah.
so the top is the pointy
And
process.
then they have also the palatine process. Palatine is under. So, I mean, probably this is palatine process for me. Okay? So that's the 4 processes. Then you have infraorbital foramen. Infra below, right? Foramen, orbital foramen. So this is, so see it? Infraorbital foramen.
Oh, okay.
Right? So then you have the body. When you say body, the biggest thing inside the bone is the body. So the whole thing is the body.
Mm-hmm.
And maxillary sinus. Maxillary is inside. See it? So sinus.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense.
And then orbital surface. Orbital surface means where
Where the eye
the eye is going to sit. So it's right here, right? You know the eye going to sit on top of here. So it's right here. See it? Alright, so
Very nice.
that's one side. This is the other side. Same thing. The orbital plate is going to sit on top.
I know where it's at.
Okay. Whole sinus inside. Right, now we go to zygomatic or malabone and zygomatic one side. So usually you see the whole notch. It's gonna be right there. So let me see. Yeah, they usually have a little hole. Let's see. Make sure I'm correct.
Hey kids,
Hey, how's it going?
how's it going?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Don't break it.
This is going to be like this, I guess. Okay, so you have orbital border. Border. So you know orbital, so this is the orbital border. Or surface, so you already know the eye going to sit on top of this one.
Yeah.
Then maxillary border. So maxillary right here, so this is the maxillary border right here.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Looks like right before where the what do you call it? Suture is, right? Or
That's a suture.
That's
Suture
a-
is bones connect to each other.
yeah.
Note how this bone attached to the maxilla to form part of the face and orbit. Yeah, so it's so when people say blowout fracture, means somebody punch you in the face, right? Like punch right here.
Yeah.
You say this going to fracture, have fracture right here, fracture right here, fracture right here. So completely this bone disconnect out the face. So
So a lot of
blow out.
boxers
The
have
whole
that
thing
look.
blow out.
Kind of sagging eye look.
So that means this whole bone out, right? So a lot of blood from the eye going to sink down to the maxillary. That's why you need the water to see the blood.
Air fluid levels, right?
Yeah, so that when they say blowout fracture, that's a fracture of 3 things.
Mm.
Or it's going to blow out the whole thing down. But now if it fracture the whole thing out, they call tripart. 3, right? 3 part.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole thing fracture out is tripart. But when it fracture down, when punch into your face like this, the whole thing like right here, the tendon going to pull the whole bone down. That's why it's have a little hole and blood pour into that hole to the maxillary. So tripart or blowout. Okay, then now we have vomit, skinny thing. So this is the ethmoid. The vomit usually sit right under it,
That's the bone, like right in the middle.
right?
Big old-
Yep, right in
Goes
the
to the
middle.
perpendicular plate.
Yep, that's why it make the whole vomit. So actually the whole thing right here is not from one bone. It's connected by the perpendicular plate of the ethmoid and the vomit.
And that's the nasal septum. Those two
Nasal septum.
together.
And it's on the bottom.
Connect the whole thing down. Alright, and then now you have parietal bone. So parietal is right here.
There should be a bump on it like a protuberance.
So you have eminence.
Eminence, sorry.
The eminence is like they call the bump on the side of head. Depends. So usually probably this is eminence right here. When the top of the skull curve down.
And then
That's
you,
suture. You already know suture.
and you told us anything flat is squamish.
Yes.
Yes.
So this is calf flat right here, but it's so close to the temporal. So. Okay, to see the parietal, we can go into it. So it's flat inside. Okay, then we got occipital bone. There's the occipital bone, and I think we have another occipital bone in here, right?
There's that's where your EOP, your external occipital protuberance, also known as, is that also as the Indian?
Alright. Occipital bone, we have, everybody know the first thing is what?
The foramen.
Vertebral
Yeah,
foramen.
foramen magnum.
Foramen magnum, where your spinal cord go down.
All the way down.
Okay, then we have occipital condyle. This is occipital bone, so occipital condyle, where it's going to connect with what?
T1.
Your C1.
C1 also called the atlas, right?
Atlas, yeah.
So this is how the atlas connect. Then we have external occipital protuberance. External is outside, so protuberance is like the bum, right?
Yeah.
Okay, or they also inion. And the basilar portion. Basilar is the base.
Base.
So this is skull, the base is this. So this is the area of basilar portion, the base. Okay, and then we have cerebral and cerebellum fossa. When you hear fossa, probably inside. It's not outside. So this is inside. So this is skull going to sit like this inside. See? So you have the fossa, 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 and fossa. So actually you have 4 fossa. So the most inferior, of course, going to cerebellum, right?
Cerebellum, yep.
And the top going to
Is the cerebrum.
cerebrum.
Yeah.
So you have right and left, right and left. So that's how the cerebrum and cerebellum going to sit. Then we have squamosal portion. Squamous is flat, right?
Yes, the
So
flat
something
portion.
flat is right here. It's the only flat area right here. And then we have internal occipital protuberance. Internal. Before we have external, now we have internal right here. So inside, internal. Yep. Occipital protuberance. So that's occipital. Okay. Now we have temporal bone right here. Okay. Do you know exactly temporal? There we go. Of course, from the three portion, right? Swayman portion is flat portion. Tympanic portion and petrous is inside. So when you look at the skull inside, this is the petrous. See it?
Yep.
This is the where you can identify which is the small skull, medium or large skull because of the degree. It's 47. Okay.
That's
So-
the
So that's the
mesocephalic.
portion. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Then we have zygomatic process. So everybody knows zygomatic process is right here. Okay, and then mastoid process. Again, mastoid, the baby is small, but when you grow up, it get bigger.
Okay.
Have a lot of air cell inside. With air cell similar like this, so air cell inside.
So you see a bunch of texture.
Then we have stylo process. With the baby, you don't really see it. But with adult, you see it. The whole thing going down. Stylo process. Yeah, similar right here. See it? So this mastoid is really big. Then we have the external auditory meter. So EAM. External is outside. So outside is outside. And then we have internal is inside. So see the whole inside here. Or you can see from here. So it's connected to external, go internal. So on the ear nerve, when we listen to the sound, ear nerve go into your brain. Okay, and then we have mandibular fossa. Temporal bone have the mandibular, so the mandibular mandible connect to the temporal by that fossa right here. See the mandible? Temporal,
Right.
they connect by that fossa right here. So this thing
Right,
called
that's the condyle. Yeah, the condyle and the fossa.
Yep.
Okay.
See it? Fossa. So the TMJ actually is right here. So that's the temporal bone. Now we have mandible. Coronoid process.
Yep, right here.
So this is coronoid. This is condyle.
Condyle.
So the one connect is what? The mandibular notch, right? Yep. And we have the head
And the neck, yeah.
Condyle and the ramus.
Ramus.
This top here is a ramus. This is the angle. This is the body.
That angle is also known as the gonian.
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
Right here.
gonia. Two. Then we have alveolar process once again. Alveolar process, right? Here, see it. Then we have mental
Foramen, that hole there.
Yeah,
Yep.
mental foramen. Then we have mental protuberance. This is last time I say I'm not so sure about the mental protuberance and I haven't looked it up. For me, probably somewhere around here. Something is projectile outside. So just go home, look up to make sure about the mental protuberance. Probably this one, not so sure.
I think you're right, though. That's right.
And the mental point or mental is just right in the middle.
Yeah.
Right, then we have frontal bone. What's up, frontal bone? There's a frontal bone. There's a frontal bone right here. So frontal eminence, flat, right? And then we have temporal fossa. Temporal fossa. See it? So when you have headache, you always try to rub around this one. They call temporal fossa. Everybody have it a little bit right here. And then supraorbital groove. With a baby, it's hard to see, but when you see this one, you know the eyebrow sit on top, right? So the groove is the one above
the eyebrow.
like a valley, like above the groove up here. And then you have superciliary arch, actually the eyebrow, the arch. So the groove, the arch, and then supraorbital margin.
The margin.
The margin, it's right here.
And there's one below it, infraorbital margin.
So groove, superciliary arch, and a margin. Then you have foramen, supraorbital foramen.
Yep.
It's a foramen. So we have infra, supra, foramen. Sometimes hard to see. See the baby right here, the little hole right here. And now we have the nasal frontal spine. Front nasal, so the nose. So you now going to locate somewhere around the nose. So nasal spine. See it?
Okay.
The spine.
Huh.
Nasal spine. So where the nasal is going to sit on it like this. So nasal spine or frontal spine. Okay. Then we have glabella. Everybody like glabella right here. Ethmoidal notch. Ethmoidal. Okay, so the ethmoid. So right here, notch. Because your ethmoid right here. There's a notch right here. The baby have a little bit notch right here. And then orbital plate. So where the eye sits. So this is plate. So when you do a lateral scar, you're going to see this one very like sit on top.
Those are superimposed.
Superimposed. That's correct. And then that's of course your frontal lobe of the brain sit on here, right? Sit inside here. That's your brain. The base of the brain. This is the base, this is the base, everything is the base of the brain right here. So frontal lobe, middle lobe, posterior lobe, right? Of the brain. Now we have sphenoid. This is sphenoid. And sit as a bat when you look down. So when you face that way, it's going to sit like this.
Mm-hmm.
So we have greater wings, the big one. So see the curve outside is the greater wings. Lesser wings is on top. So lesser, greater. Okay, then we have lateral pterygoid process. Pterygoid. This is
The medial
pterygoid.
one, right?
So
Yeah.
we have the lateral,
Right.
medial pterygoid
Yes.
process. Okay. Now to look in the skull, when you look lateral, see it?
Oh, okay.
This is pterygoid. So
Cool.
lateral, medial pterygoid right here. So actually it's very close to the vomer, correct?
Mm-hmm.
That's why the so ethmoid, vomer, and sphenoid just connect to each other right here to the palatine too. So look lateral, you're gonna see right here. So that's how you're gonna see it's right here. Pterygoid process. Now ceratosica. There's ceratosica right here. Where the what's the gland sit on it?
For sure.
Okay, the territory on it. Then we have dorsum cella. Dorsum is back. So this is dorsum cella. Dorsum cella. Then we have anterior and posterior clinar process. Anterior, posterior, clinar. So I'm not sure. Probably this is anterior. This is posterior right here. Very close. Not this one. So anterior, posterior, clinar process. So here, and probably here, the clinar process right there. Then we have foramen. So on greater wings, the foramen.
There's one that's oval shaped, that's
That-
ovale,
yeah.
and then there's one that's a round shape, the rotundum. That's how I remember RO for round, and oval is oval, ovale.
Okay.
So it's a little bigger one. The bigger one is the ovale.
Sweet.
So
Yeah.
down here's the ovale.
Yeah.
And then the other one is where
So
at?
usually this is how it go from outside to the medial. Spinosum the smallest, outside.
Yeah.
Spinosum, and then ovale like oval.
Mm-hmm.
So spinosum, oval, and another one is right here. Rotundum.
Yeah. And then this space is a fissure. That's your, isn't that the
Yep.
supraorbital
It's
fissure?
a superior orbital fissure.
Yeah.
So this is the whole thing right here.
Yeah.
So when you look at the skull, you can see the fissure. See it?
Okay.
Whole thing.
Oh yeah.
That's the fissure, the superior fissure. That's the superior fissure. Then you have chiasmatic or optic groove. The flat bone in middle. So this is a or the optic groove right here. So this whole thing. So it's going to be up front somewhere right here. Okay. So right here, up front. So another one is what? Orbital foramen, where the eyeball. So the eyeball going to be somewhere right here on the nerve, go through this hole to your brain. So it go through this right here. Orbital foramen. Okay. It sit like angle like this. So that's the sphenoid. And that's it.
Yay!
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. That was awesome.
No
Yeah,
problem,
thank
but
you.
actually they connect a lot to each other. When you look around the whole skull, you can see all over. See? This is when you see the basilar portion. Remember the occipital bone?
Yeah.
This one? Basilar portion. See it?
Yeah. Okay.
Condyle, everything. Alright guys.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you.
It's really cool.